Hi, Simon. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm very pleased to actually be able to discuss all of this fitness, working from home and looking after your health with an expert such as yourself. Would you like
Thanks
to,
for having me.
sorry about that, would you like to explain your business and what you actually do, Simon?
Yeah, sure. Look, I own an organisation called Lifestyle Essentials in Mitcham, Victoria, and we are an exercise rehabilitation and also a health clinic. We have osteopaths, remedial massage therapists, personal trainers, and exercise rehab therapists who work within the clinic. And ultimately, we specialise in working with sedentary people, giving them back their quality of life so that they can actually function correctly and live life pain-free.
That is really quite topical any day of the week, but specifically what's actually happening now for people, isn't it? You know, with the restrictions on what they can actually do. So, Simon, I was really pleased to see just your background, your educational background and what you've done, because you're just not an ordinary, physical fitness trainer, are you?
No. Look, I've been in the fitness industry for 23 years, working across multiple modalities, even in the education arena, teaching people how to become personal trainers, how to become massage therapists, and allied health professionals too.
Yeah, I know you've got a Bachelor of Science in Neuroanatomy. You've done diplomas, multiple diplomas in remedial massage and fitness therapy, etc. I know you are specifically focused quite often on the rehabilitation side of things, aren't you, for people?
Yeah, well, look, the big thing is, what we find is a lot of people who come to the gym, if you like, or come to exercise, have imbalances in their posture or having weaknesses in their body, that if you don't deal with those first, the exercise can actually then cause more injury or more damage. So what we want to do is we want to actually identify weaknesses, identify problems in the body which need to be, I guess, the word fixed first or dealt with first before we can actually then get that person training correctly. So, for example, you get someone who's come in who's lived a sedentary lifestyle, they go join a gym and they decide they want to run a marathon and they've got weaknesses in their body and they get out there starting to run a marathon and then they start getting foot pain, they start getting knee pain, they start getting hip pain and they sit there and they go, well, I never had any of this pain before I ran. And it's like, well, a flat tire in my car doesn't bother me if I don't drive it. So,
good analogy, yes.
Yeah, it's about, and someone said this to me the other week, you're not just someone who can count sets and give exercises. You're the person who actually creates a body to be healthier enough and strong enough to then be able to do those exercises.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about what we do is we take that person who's that sedentary, injured person who can't exercise, who suffers from pain, and we give them back their quality of life. So suddenly they turn into this exercising person. And a lot of clients who come into our studio, they look at these clients going, I can't do that. And it's like, that's okay. 12 months ago, they couldn't either.
Yeah. I really take your point in terms of, you can't just go from, if you like, sedentary to doing those things that look so healthy, but in fact probably aren't going to be healthy for you. They're going to cause you an injury if you haven't got all of your, weak points addressed physically, your physical weak points addressed. Yeah.
And Susan, one of the things we're really seeing at the moment in this lockdown is we're really seeing people who have been exercising, who have had to stop or haven't been able to exercise as much, suddenly start to see more back pain, more neck pain. And these things are creeping in.
Or knee pain, yes. Yes, it is. It's happening.
Yeah. And a lot of this is simply because of the fact that they're being sedentary. And I was saying to a doctor that I was treating the other day that, this is your life if you don't exercise.
Yes.
So, my fear in this lockdown region, and especially as a financial thing for people as well, is if they stop investing in themselves and they stop looking after their health, that, we're just going to see people, in pain, leading to a little more depression, leading to more issues with mental health. And this ongoing issue then is just going to continue and spiral out of control. And as much as we don't want to downplay COVID, you know, my question is how many people have died from suicide in relation to this COVID in the last 4 months? Because that's become a bigger issue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you want to be healthy, you've really got to start the physical side first for the mental side to actually move in a positive direction as well. Now, I know
research shows that exercise will stabilize your hormones in your brain, such as dopamine, serotonin, and they're the hormones that actually get treated by antidepressant drugs. Research shows moving actually will prevent depression. Sitting in the sun and having that sun on your face that will prevent those sorts of things. So there's lots of things that, you know, this plays out other than just fitness that people need to be considering.
Yes, yeah. Especially as it's got longer and longer, isn't it? I know two things really popped out while you were talking into my thoughts, really. One is that I know people who have just started to work from home and realised by, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my goodness, my back is sore. They're sitting on inappropriate seats, etc. And another one was someone who luckily is not in this state, so they don't have to actually be in lockdown, but they started some physical fitness after having to, stop for some time, and they've gone and they've injured themselves straight away. So, which also, if you're a bit longer in the tooth, such as my good self, takes a little bit longer to actually get over as well, doesn't it? So then, it's all compounding. And if you're actually injured and you're in the middle of a lockdown, it's not a great place to be. So, yeah. So what can we do about it? I know you've prepared a video. Would you like to take us through this video? How did you do it? Why did you do this video?
Well, one of the things, that we see going on quite a fair bit is people who sit at their desks do suffer from lower back pain, neck pain, and shoulder pain. There's a lot of articles, and on our website we have articles on the sitting is the new smoking when it comes to back pain. And that sitting down too much can actually turn off muscles, which will then prevent the back being supported and can lead to back pain. But the big thing I think that we're seeing come through the clinic at the moment is more so this excessive kyphosis and this forward head carriage sort of,
which is exactly what I'm doing. Yes.
Which then leads to tightness in the neck, tightness through into the base of the skull, and that's where all the cranial nerves come out that can then lead to migraines and headaches and that sort of thing. So this particular video is a 15-minute video about exercises you could do at your desk. And, this is something that I'm happy just to give away. All your clients are welcome to it, and we can put it out there. Or people can contact me to get a copy of. And it literally is sitting at the desk, doing stuff that you can do at your desk. Now, this particular video is around neck and shoulder mobility and that sort of stuff. So, if you're in this position for 8 hours a day, we need to get out of that position, and we need to be able to stretch out of it quite regularly. And this goes for 15 minutes, but, 14 minutes actually, but it is something you could break down and you could do throughout different times throughout the day. So, that's what it was there for. It's there to help people, to give people back quality, if you like. So, yeah.
Right, if you want to play that would be fabulous.
One of the best ways to prevent tightness through the neck and the shoulders is to stretch ourselves regularly throughout the day. This is some simple stretches you can do at your desk to help mobilise your neck and the shoulders. The first stretch we're going to do is going to stretch the muscles in the side of the neck. What we do is we grab onto the side of our chair and we brace ourselves into the side of the chair. We then take our other hand over the top of our head and hold on to our ear and then stretch sideways, pulling the head down towards your shoulder. To increase the stretch, you can rock in your chair, which will actually help pull more through the arm holding onto the chair. To start off with, we're going to hold ourselves in a neutral position where we keep looking straight but we tilt our head side on. We're going to hold this stretch for about 10 or 15 seconds, gently resisting the head down as we hold the stretch. What tends to happen when we stretch is the muscles will tend to relax, and then we increase that stretch that little bit further. Releasing that slowly, we'll go to the other side. So we're grabbing onto the chair here. Take the other hand up over the head and then gently resist the head sideways. You'll feel the stretch starting to pull through here into the neck. We want to breathe nice and deeply while we do these stretches, just resisting the head down sideways, taking your ear down towards your shoulder. You should feel a mild pulling sensation in the muscles. We don't want to feel any dizziness or any pain, just that mild pulling sensation. Again, we're holding the stretch for about 15 seconds. And as it relaxes, we try and go a little bit further. Bringing your head back into the neutral position. Our second stretch is a variation of this stretch, where what we do is we actually again hold on to the chair, resisting down, taking your hand over the top, grabbing hold of your ear or the side of your head, gently drawing your ear down to your shoulder again. And then what you're going to do is you're going to rock your head forward a little bit, so you start looking down towards the floor as you do the stretch. Now this will actually change the focus of the stretch to more the back quarter of the neck rather than the side. So you've got 3 levels of muscles. You've got the front, the side and the back, and this is focusing on more of the back ones. Again, as you're holding it, try and increase that stretch a little bit more. And we're just looking down towards the floor. Remember, breathe nice and deeply the entire time. Let's bring that back up into the middle. We'll change sides. So grabbing onto the chair, taking this hand up and over your head, gently pulling your ear down towards your shoulder, and then rotate your head forward as if you're looking down toward the ground, just out towards the side you're stretching. So for me, I'm looking out towards my left-hand side here. What you'll find is when you're rotating your head down, there'll be a position that's really, really tight and increases the actual stretch more. And there'll be other parts where you feel it more intensely versus where you don't feel it. The goal is to find those spots where you're really feeling it intensely and just hold the stretch there for a little bit longer. Keeping breathing for me the entire time. Breathing's an important aspect of stretching because it not only slows down your nervous system, but it also brings oxygen and nutrients into the body that help the muscles relax. Good, releasing that slowly, bringing the head back up. Our next stretch is a stretch for the muscles down the back of the neck, known as levator scap. This is a muscle that creates a lot of headaches. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our head, and it's like we're taking our nose down to our armpit. We put our hands behind our head, so we're cradling our head in our arm here, and then we're gently pulling this down toward the floor. So we're rolling it down this way. Again, you can hold on to the chair to give yourself a little bit more of an intensity in that stretch, but you should feel that stretching down through the back of the neck. Breathing nice and deeply. As the muscle relaxes, just try and increase that stretch that little bit more. Let's release that nice and slowly. Coming down, grabbing on with the other hand, taking the hand up, looking down towards your armpit, arm over the top, and rolling down, looking down towards the floor. Remember to keep breathing the entire time. You'll feel that stretching down the back of the neck. That's normal to feel it stretching through there. You don't want to feel any headaches or any dizziness. If you feel that, just stop the stretch altogether or back off in the stretch so you're not stretching as far. As the muscle relaxes, try and go a little bit deeper into the stretch. And then release that nice and slowly. Okay, our next stretch is going to be more for the front of the neck. So we've got some big muscles here in the front of the neck that are responsible for rotating our head. What we're going to do here is we're going to actually grab on to our shoulders, more around the collarbone area here. And we're going to just rest that, and we're going to pull it, we're going to look up and pull down on the collarbone. You'll feel a mild stretch through here. It's not an intense stretch, it's just a mild stretch. So gently just drawing down. Then we release that slowly. And then we go again. Again, just looking up and drawing the arms down, allowing your weight just to pull down on the chest. So you're feeling that stretch through there. Releasing slowly again and drawing down. Nice big deep breath in and out. Good. Releasing that slowly. Some of the best ways to actually prevent stiffness in the neck and the shoulders is through mobility exercises. So one of the greatest mobility exercises we have is called the Lewitt technique. And this is the technique where we put our hands out into this position. We have our thumb down on this side, and then we have our palm up on this side. What we do is we look at the side where we have our thumb down. We take a nice big deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we rotate our hands and our head into this opposite position. So now this thumb's down and this palm is up. The big deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we rotate around into that position. Always looking toward the thumb down. Big deep breath in and breathing out and rotating around all the way. Again, into that position with the thumb down, palm up, looking the opposite direction. Big deep breath in and breathing out and rotating around. It's important that this movement needs to be slow and controlled. Big deep breath in and breathing out as we rotate around. We don't want to do it too quickly, otherwise we may crick our neck and tighten it up. It's about taking nice big deep breaths in and then breathing out as you're moving, because what this does is this actually loosens up the neck and helps the muscles in the neck start to mobilize each vertebra at each vertebral level. Big deep breath in and breathing out and rotating around. Now this is a great exercise to do throughout the day. You can do it while you're waiting for the jug to boil or waiting for yourself, make yourself a cup of coffee. Ideally, we probably want to do about 10 to 12 rotations. And probably aim to do that probably 5 or 6 times a day. Another exercise that we can do, and this is a really good exercise for like mobilizing the neck and actually reducing stress in the neck, is what we call a head roll. And we all do these sorts of rolling exercises in the past, but what we want to do is we want to partner with a sequence of breathing to help relax the muscles. So if we break our body into left-hand side and right-hand side, what will happen is when we're rolling on our left-hand side here, we're actually rolling backwards, our head's traveling that way, and then when we change sides, we're then rolling forwards. And we want to partner the breathing with that. We want to breathe out as we're traveling backwards, nice and slow, and then we want to breathe in from here, then traveling forwards. The best way to breathe out is to breathe out by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. So normally when I do this, it looks like this. Try and avoid blowing out really hard, like as you blow out, because what you want to do is you want to control that movement as you go around. Then we go back the other way. So again, breathing. When we go this way, we're traveling backwards now on the right hand side. So we breathe out going back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathing in as we're traveling forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out as you travel backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in as we're traveling forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now again, the movements need to be slow and controlled. We don't want to be rolling around really, really quickly or whipping our head around, because that's going to cause the muscles to activate and tighten up rather than loosen. Our next stretch is for the shoulder, more so from the neck, but the shoulder and the neck are integrated, and really if we want to improve the looseness and the tightness through the neck, we need to improve our posture for our shoulders as well. So this is a great exercise, a great stretch for the shoulders that are rolled forward. What we do is we take our hand up in front of our face like a stop sign like this. We then come underneath and we grab hold of your thumb, and then you turn your hand out this way. Now, you may not have the flexibility to do that. So what you do is you get yourself a towel or a rope or a piece of cloth, grabbing it into that position, coming underneath, taking hold, and then gently drawing it out that way. Now you'll feel this stretch in your shoulder. Okay, some people feel it in the back, some people feel it in the front. It is stretching a range of muscles, so where you feel this the most intensely will be determined by where you are the tightest. Again, we want to breathe nice and deeply, and we want to hold these stretches for about 10 to 15 seconds. Release that slowly. Other hand up, like we're holding a stop sign in front of our face, coming underneath, grabbing hold of the thumb and turning it out. We don't want to bend our arm back towards our head, we want to leave our arm in front of us. Ideally have 90 degrees at the elbow. If you can't reach, just that piece of cloth or a towel and gently turning out like so. What you'll find is as you do this stretch, your mobility will increase, and then you'll be able to do it more and more and more. Let's release that slowly. Alright, the next movement is we're going to go from a chest stretch into a back stretch coming forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in this position where we're out stretching nice and tall and really opening up the chest. Okay, we're going to hold that position. You can take your hands back like this a little bit further. If you do get any pulling or pins and needles down your hand like that, just bring the hands into a neutral position. Then come forward, taking hold of your hands and really stretch forward into, I guess, a cat stretch, stretching out the back. Then we open up the chest and then come back into this stretching position, stretching through the chest here like so. Coming forward, really rounding out through those shoulders, and then stretching out again like so. Okay, so that's just a few stretches that you can do at your desk to help mobilize you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at info@lifestyleessentials.com.au, and we'll look forward to answering any questions you may have or helping you feel more mobile and feeling better sitting at your desk. Thank you.
Simon, that was very interesting. Tell me, what are the major points from that video?
Look, the big thing here is that is a way in which you can actually mobilize yourself throughout the day. You don't need to do it all. You know, you can do parts of it. And as you start doing those stretches, you'll find specific stretches which will help you over other stretches. So you might sit here and go, oh, I'm going to do this 2 or 3 times an hour versus sitting down for 10 minutes and doing a whole stretching program. The big thing you'll notice probably when the first time you do it, when you do it all, is you'll actually feel quite disconnected sort of through here because you've loosened everything and you've brought a lot of oxygen into that area. So you might feel a little like, whoa, man, I feel a bit lightheaded, a bit strange. And that's simply because, you know, you've actually probably released it as well. And add in a lot of water when you're doing it too, because you're going to be releasing toxins.
Right. I can tell you that is certainly very useful. I felt like I wanted to do those exercises straight away because that is often where I know I carry in the neck, where I carry that tension, etc. And I can end up feeling it very much. So, yeah, looking forward to doing some of those. Simon, what else do you offer people from home right now? What can they do?
So we've, look, the clinic is still operating with the osteo. So if you live in a 5-kilometre radius of us and you have a chronic injury, an acute injury, you can still come in and consult with our osteopaths. However, you know, the remedial massage and the personal training isn't operating. So what we've done is we've taken pretty much all of our services online. We're doing one-on-one personal training through Zoom. So we're training a lot of our clients this way. We're also running our classes on Zoom. So we run probably 15 group exercise classes a week that cater to all fitness levels, whether it be the person who, you know, is an elite athlete or the, you know, the elite couch potato. We can meet you in the middle and get you moving. We've been running some exercise rehab programs, like just what we saw in that video there, where I'm working with people on back pain and on neck pain and shoulder pain through exercise, because ultimately movement, with the human body was designed to move, and the ultimate medicine we can give the body is movement. So we are doing those sorts of sessions. We're setting up next week. We're going to be setting up 2 or 3 lunchtime stretch and mobilization classes, which are going to be a 30-minute class specifically around, you know, getting people moving in their workwear. So stretches, mobilization stuff, just like you've seen, I guess, in that video, but for the whole body. Targeting, you know, lower back, hip mobility, tightness in the legs and the hips as well. So we're still offering all of our services, Suzanne. And the great thing now is people have got no excuse in that they can't come to us or they haven't got time.
Yes.
You know, we're looking at, you know, we're offering a range of packages. So, you know, looking at if you want to just do one class, then you can just pay as you go for those one classes, or we have other packages as well. So our prices go from $10 up, really, you know.
You're
so
really giving us flexibility to get flexible.
Yeah.
Really? I think I might be trying some of those.
Ultimately, if you look at this whole situation and we're playing a game of poker, we're trying to win on a pair of 2s, where you can still win with a pair of 2s. So I would challenge every single person who watches this to actually utilize this COVID period as a way of actually focusing on themselves. You know, we all complain that we're so busy and that life's so fast and we never get time out. Well, you know what? Now we've got 6 weeks, if not more, where we can actually focus on ourselves. There's no reason why we can't eat healthy and we can't do those sorts of things. So we do have nutritional programs where we can help people with that as well, with our resident dietitian and our nutritional program. You know, there's no reason why we can't be focusing on ourselves to improve our health. I'm yet to see fresh fruit and veggies run out at the shops. I'm yet to see fresh meat run out of the shops. So I, you know, would challenge people, let's use this time to reconnect with the family, you know, friends where you can, but also reconnect with your body and come out of this fitter and healthier, you know, not only just physically, but also mentally.
I think that's all very appealing, quite frankly. And I know just from my own self that those lunchtime sessions sound really good. Do I jump onto www.lifestyleessentials.com.au? Yep.
Yeah, so just lifestyleessentials.com.au, search Lifestyle Essentials as Google and you'll find us. Those sessions will be going up on Monday. Basically, we have our website. We go to our group timetable and you just click on the timetable and you can book in. And once you're booked in, then you get your first class for free. So come and try it out. You know, at the moment we also have an offer where if people want to have a week's free trial, they can get a one-on-one personal training session and unlimited access to our groups for the week. So people are more than welcome to take that trial on board and try us out for a week.
That sounds great. Yeah. As someone who used to exercise 3 times a week, I know you can't necessarily see that, but I did. I'm missing the exercise a lot. At first, it was when the first isolation, I thought, oh, you know, just ride over it, do some walking, I'll be fine. But no, it's really is taking an impact now with just the length of time and in all honesty, I think it's attrition of muscles and stuff. And really
one of the things we need to remember here, Susan, is that we're actually in stage 4. And to be able to go back to exercise, we really need to go back to stage 2. So stage 4 is basically we're all shut. Stage 3 that we were last in didn't allow us to train anyone indoors or train groups.
Yep.
And even in stage 3, part 1, didn't allow us to still train. It only allowed us to train groups outdoors. We still weren't allowed to take people indoors. So from the health industry or the fitness industry, if you like, you know, I would unfortunately point out we're probably a good 16 weeks away
Wow.
possibly even 20 weeks away from being able to go back to the local pool or being able to go back to the local gym and start training. So people need to think about whether I can ride over this. I would suggest that, you know, if you're going to try and ride over it, you're going to have issues down the track. And a friend of mine who I used to work with, his name's Travis Gina Siracusa, who runs a personal training studio in the city, used to say to people, you can pay for it now in your membership and your training fees, or you can pay for it later in your health and your medical expenses.
Yeah.
You know, with those sorts of things. So, and I can guarantee I am a lot cheaper than back surgery. I'm a lot cheaper than a knee replacement. Notwithstanding, there are a lot of people out there who might be watching this who don't have an income at the moment. I would invite them to reach out to me and have a chat, and let's work out what we can do for them. If we're running a group, and we can help people out and in some way, shape or form, I'd rather have that conversation with them and see how we can help than them just sit there going, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
However, there also are a lot of videos on YouTube for free, you know, around things as well. So people can be resourceful, and I know that might put me out of business in a sense. But if people want to invest a little bit of time in doing some rehab stuff first, then there's heaps of exercise stuff out there that they can do.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and actually, if you just dive into YouTube straight away, you haven't had any assessment of what you should be doing, you know, maybe first, or what you shouldn't be doing too sometimes. So, yeah. I know I'd like to further this and look at some other aspects too down the track. Maybe in a week or two we'll film another session, Simon.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that'd be
We
great.
can say, I think I'm more than happy. We can do a couple of ways, Susan. We can look at a range of topics, like we can look at back pain. We can look at stretching of the lower body. We can look at nutrition. We can look at all those things. Or, you know, if people reach out to you and give you some ideas on different topics that they want us to cover, we can actually put something specific together around that, those areas, so that, you know, we can answer people's questions.
Fabulous. Yeah, I think I certainly know people who are talking about back pain, so I think we might take that one first, and we can always explore further too, I think, as we go along. Thank you very much, Simon from Lifestyles Essentials. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for sharing your knowledge like this, and actually the offer to support and help people as well. It's brilliant. And I think I'll be signing up to some of those lunchtime classes. Get myself moving.
Great.
Yeah.
It'd be great to have you there. And it'd be great to have, you know, as many people there as that we can help. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, let's be fit and healthy during this time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Simon.
All right. Thanks, Susan.